Not sure what I've got on here. Hopefully it's a decent fish though. Trolling the river right now. Oh, nice little walleye. All right, let's get a quick little measurement on them. So we're looking at right at 15 inches here for this walleye. Beautiful little fish. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not. It's not just to support my channel, which I really appreciate. It's also to tell YouTube that the outdoors matter and that pushing outdoor content to more and more people is important. So I'm out here on the river this evening and I waited till about 3 hours before dark, specifically to target walleye on the river while trolling. And one of the things that I do is I find a consistent area on a river, any river, it doesn't matter, that's between 3 and 5 feet deep for a long period of time. That way when you're trolling, doesn't matter if it's in a boat or a canoe, kayak, whatever, while you're trolling, what you do then is you keep that bait at that same level in the water by keeping your speed the same in your boat. That way, if, like for example, if you're trolling on a lake and there's a whole bunch of dips and humps and everything like that, that's really difficult to keep your bait in the strike zone of the fish. So this particular area where I'm fishing today is a rather large river. I'm out here in my canoe, and all I'm doing, I'm obviously on a river where I can use my canoe with a trolling motor. If you're fishing a river that needs a gas motor just to fight the current of the river, please do that. This is just something that I know I can do in this stretch because I've fished it so many times. But anyway, what I do is I just fish that same stretch on the river that I know I can keep the bait between 3 and 5 feet, and I don't have to worry about the bait not being in the strike zone of the fish. The reason why I know that's at 3 to 5 feet is because I've been here before in a boat with a locator and I've kind of mapped it out and had success doing it that way. But I just thought it'd be a nice way to come out here, not fire up a motor, you know, just be alone in a nice peaceful river by myself and go for some evening walleyes, and that's the way I do it. Let me show you the bait that I'm using. It is a typical Fire Tiger Rapala. That's all it is. Fire Tiger Rapala. They've had these for years. I don't know the size exactly. I just get this size every single time. I've used other baits like this. These double jointed baits like this, these Rapalas, they work well. I'm only using this right now because the lip on here, the bill, allows that bait at the speed I'm going against the current to stay about a foot off the bottom, so I'm not hitting the bottom. Every now and then I bump into a rock, it's not a big deal. This will stay about 3 feet down, sometimes 4 feet down at the speed I'm going against the current. And all I'm doing is staying in the center of the river, and I'm making sure I'm going at the same speed the whole time, going up the river, and I'll even troll going downstream too. It's just more effective going against the current, I've found, than going downstream. Got another one on. I love trolling because it hits so hard. Even little walleyes, you know. It hasn't jumped yet. Usually that's an indication that it's not a bass. And it's coming in fairly easy. You know, walleyes under 15 inches, they don't fight too hard. So hopefully I get them in here. I'm not filming my hook sets because there's a lot of downtime. Yeah, this is a walleye, it's dogging down. Yep, it's a little walleye. This one will be. There it is. Trolling, you know, you're going faster than the current, so when they do hit it, it's like bam, and then they let it go. So once again, this Fire Tiger color, it's never seemed to fail. It always seems to do a really nice job. And you know, I used to think of it as an old school color, you know, things that people would use back in the 80s and stuff. It's kind of an original, like, classic, you know. I was like, oops. You know, I used to think that Fire Tiger was, there it goes. That Fire Tiger was kind of like an old school kind of color, and it's like, maybe it's not that great. And I started using it, and I realized, you know, I might not use it if I'm casting or if I'm on a lake somewhere casting, but for this application, trolling, it's my go-to. It really is. You know, you may have seen this in your dad's tackle box when you were growing up or something, and it works. It's not something I'm gonna like cast shorelines with all day or whatever, or expect to get tons of fish on that way. But in the application of trolling on a river, I can't explain it, but I'm glad it works because that's what I like to use now, and it's effective. So the rod I'm using today is a Walleye Series Legend Tournament. It's a medium power, fast action rod, and I've got that teamed up with a Daiwa Legalis spinning reel, size 1000, and then 10-pound braid with a 4-pound diameter. So you can get a lot of line on here. It casts really far, really smooth. This is my everything rod, so I catch everything from muskie to bluegill to, not intentionally catching bluegill, but you get what I'm saying. Medium action rod, or medium power rod, fast action tip, 6.5 feet long, 2-piece. So it basically can catch anything, do anything you need it to do in a pinch. But if I'm going to go out for walleye specifically, this is the rod I'm going to use. I do not have a fluoro leader on here. The water is really dark in this river, so that's not really necessary. And I've never really put one on unless I've been in clear water. And that's what I would recommend you use, is a 6.5 to 8 foot rod, medium power, fast action tip for this, for trolling on a river, for walleye specifically. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this video. I hope you learned something new. We'll see you next time.